Happy Fitness Friday. So I wanted to come to you today with a little talk about the kinetic chain. I want you to think of a chain, like a chain link that you could hold, and you can see all the different links of the chain going along. And I want you to apply that to your body. Each joint, each level of your body is part of the kinetic chain, all the way from your head, all the way down to your heels. So if I'm standing, we can see that there's different points of your body that can bend. I can bend at my shoulders with my neck. I can bend at my hips as well. I can bend at my knees. If we're including our arms, we can also bend at our shoulders like this too. And then we have different parts of the kinetic chain that we would include for all of our limbs as we extend them, like our wrist or our elbow, right? So we've got all of these different joints that are bending in different ways. And the kinetic chain talks about how we need to protect those joints, and we need to function in the most stable way so that your body is not putting extra strain on those joints. If you think about it like a chain link, you've always heard the saying, you know, you're only as strong as your weakest link. If there's ever a link that's twisted or it's bent out of shape, that's going to put extra strain in the wrong place in the chain link, and it's going to put it at more susceptible to breaking. And we don't want to create that in your body, because if we do that in your body, we overstrain a joint and we hurt ourselves. Now we've got a problem. We can't perform all the activities that we normally do. So the most important part here is to recognize what a straight line kinetic chain looks like and how we can protect it. And so the example that I want to give, there's two examples I'm going to give. One is going to be squats, and the other one is going to be lunges. So for squats, if we think about it, if we take a look at a squat, as we squat down, we've got a straight kinetic chain, and I'll actually change this so you can see a little bit better. As we squat down, we've got this straight kinetic chain, shoulder, knees, heels. As we start to lean out of that kinetic chain, now I'm starting to put a lot of strain on my knees. All right? Same thing would happen if I was to hunch over in my back when I do a squat. Now notice that my shoulders are being pulled in front of my straight line kinetic chain normal line that we have here. We're bending at our hips, and it doesn't matter what we're doing with our hips. If we're holding our shoulders too low, now what we're doing is we're putting a lot of strain in our back. So the first one was we're putting strain through our knees, and the second one was we're going to put a lot of strain on our lower back. So when I did that first squat, if you look at my back here, I'm keeping my shoulders in a straight line. Kinetic chain is intact. All right? And that's going to protect all the different muscles that are attached to all the different joints that are being used. The other one is the lunge. The lunge, you can see this really, really well as well, where if we do a lunge, and we do it correctly, we drop that back knee down, our knee in line with our heel, not pushing too far. As soon as we start to lean forward and we break that kinetic chain, now we've got too much stress in our knee. We start to put your knee at high risk of getting hurt. So we always want to think, how can we mimic what our kinetic chain looks like when we're standing? So if I stand back here, straight line, head, shoulders, hips, knees, and then my heels. I'm in one straight line. Any way that I can minimize the impact that I have on my straight line, on my kinetic chain, will protect all of my joints. The further I fall out of that kinetic chain, the more likely I am to hurt myself. All right? And this works with anything. All right? This works with any exercise that you're doing. It can be lat pull downs. Once again, kinetic chain. We're doing this and doing lat pull downs, putting our back at risk. All right? If we're doing, tricep extensions, and we're hunching over again, putting our back at risk. If we're doing bench press and we're sitting forward like this, we're going to be putting our shoulder at huge risk because we're pulling our shoulder out of that alignment And you've got to think of it as the stress, the weight that you're holding, and what it's going through, what joint it's going through, and if we're adding strain to that joint. If we break the natural kinetic chain, we're going to add extra strain through a joint, and it's going to end up hurting that joint. So our biggest thing is to think of how can we keep in the straightest line possible to help protect it. And that's why the most important thing that us trainers work on is your core strong enough to hold up your upper body, your trunk? If your core is too weak, then we start to fall out of that kinetic chain either forwards or backwards, and now we start to hurt ourselves. So if you want to work on maintaining your straight line, maintaining your kinetic chain, protecting your limbs from getting hurt, your joints from getting hurt, we want to focus on core strength, and we want to focus on posture. Doing every activity, core strength, posture, and then obviously form. But those two go into form. So it's core strength and posture. If we can keep that perfect posture, we can keep that tight core, we can protect ourselves and protect our joints. And hopefully we can make sure that we get stronger and we also stay safe. So I wanted to throw this out there. There's a lot of lunges, there's a lot of squats, a lot of things that people are doing without any weight, but they're doing them fast. And if you're not doing them in that perfect kinetic chain, then we're potentially putting ourselves at risk to get hurt. So I thought it was prudent for us to put a little bit of a focus on. Hopefully it helped. And if you have any questions about it, you want to talk it through at all, or you have any comments, please let me know. Hopefully you liked the video, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. All right, bye for now.